Peace. Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to bring certain evidences from the reading to prove that the Prophet Muhammad wasn't an Arab. Um, and the word Arab is used 5 times in the reading. Um, Normally, they translate it or they interpret the meaning of a Arab as a Bedouin. People who don't live exactly in like a settled area, like in a city or in a village or in a town. They live like on the outskirts, right? Um, okay, 990. And there came those with excuses from the Arabs that leave be given to them, and there sat the ones who lied to God and His messenger. The ones rejecting from them will have a painful punishment. 997. The Arabs are strongly rejected and wavering, and more likely not knowing the limits of what God equipped its messenger, and God is knowing wise. 998. And among the Arabs is he who take what he spends as a liability and waits a misfortune for you. For them is an evil misfortune, and God is hearing, knowing. 999. And among the Arabs is he who trusts in God in the day after, and take what he spends as a means of nearness to God, and the commitments of the messenger. God will enter them into his mercy. God is forgiving, merciful. 9101. No. Among them around you, among the Arabs, are waverers, and among the dedicators of the city. They persist on wavering. You don't know them. We know them. We will punish them twice. They will be sent to a tremendous punishment. 9120. Is not for dedicators of the city and who is around them among the Arabs to lag behind God's messenger and prefer themselves to himself, because there befalls them no thirst, nor fatigue, nor hunger for God's way, nor take any steps that angers the rejectors, nor any gain they have over an enemy, except it is written for them as a righteous work. God doesn't waste the reward of the good ones. So, as we can see, God talks about these people who are Arabs, some of them good, some of them not. But God is informing the Prophet Muhammad with these ayats and talking to him as if he is not an Arab. These people who are Arabs was at a particular time period. It doesn't include all people who are called Arabs. So this deals with that particular mission that the Prophet Muhammad was on and those who was around him. So as we can see, God talks to the Prophet as if these people who are called Arabs are not of his people. See? Then in 36:6, to warn a people, a qawmin is the people who share the same characteristics, He's saying like ethnicity. That you warn a people, qawman, whose forefathers wasn't warned, so they are unaware. So they say the Arabs come from the lineage of Prophet Ishmael. And this proof, this ayat says to warn a qawman whose father wasn't warned, so they are unaware. So if the Prophet Muhammad was an Arab, and if the Arabs descend from Ishmael, Ishmael was of their forefathers who was warned. And you know, Isaac and Jacob, you know, according to the reading. So if he's come to a people who is not, father has not been warned, that means that at some point in their ancestry they didn't get a law or judgment or prophethood. Okay. 278. And among them are the ummeeyoon. They don't know the law, only imagination, and they only assume. Some say that this proves the definition of the ummeeyoon, that they are people who don't know the law. But we'll see that's not the case. 320. Then if they argue with you, say, I have submitted myself to God and those following me. And say to the ones who's been given the law and the ummeeyin, have you submitted? Then they are guided. And if they turn away, then on you is the communication, and God sees regarding the servants. So this term ummeeyoon seems like it's talking about a particular group of people, right? 375. And among the dedicators of the law is who, if entrusting him with a fortune, will return it to you. And among them is who, if entrusted him with a dinar, will not return it to you, only if you stay constantly over him. That is regarding their saying, we owe nothing, concerning the ummeeyin way. And they're saying the lie about God, and they know. So it's just talking about the dedicators of the law and the interactions with these people who are called ummeeyin. 157. The ones who are following the messenger, the ummee prophet, the one who they find him written with them in the Torah and the Gospel, enjoining them with good customs and forbidding the detestable, and making permissible for them the good things, and forbidding them against the bad things, and relieving them of their burden and the shackles which were on them. Those who trust in him and honor him and help him, and follow the light, the one we equipped him with. These are the successful ones. So we see again that not only are there a group of people who are ummi, we also see that the Prophet Muhammad was ummi. Now there's another opinion that ummi means illiterate. It's not the case, because it's proven in the Quran that the Prophet Muhammad could read and write, and also he has scribes. So if these people are ummi, then that means they can't read or write, so how can you have a scribe? This stuff, right? No. 7:158. Say, O people, I am God's messenger to you all together, the one who belong to it, the jurisdictions of the skies and earth. No God, only it, giver of life and death. So trust in God and His messenger, the ummeeyeena prophet, the one who trusts in God and His words, and follow Him. Perhaps you will be guided. So again, the term ummeeyeena prophet is used here for the Prophet Muhammad. So that must mean he is of these people who are called ummeeyeena, right? 62:2. It is the one who raised up in the ummeeyeena a messenger from them, quoting to them its proof and increasing their betterment, and teaching them the law and wisdom, and they have been before an obvious lost. So God raised up among the ummeeyeena a prophet, and this prophet is also ummi, right? So another word ummi means is mother, and ummi also means source, where something originates from, right? The base, the foundation, right? So if we take that definition along with the knowledge in the Quran that the Jews and Christians and stuff was people. See, the Jews started in Egypt, right? Because Jacob, his son, Prophet Jacob and Prophet Joseph was in Egypt. Prophet Joseph, governed over Egypt. Peace be on them, right? So that means that the Jews, the Ahl Kitab, is not from this area where the prophetic mission is taking place naturally, like how the Europeans wasn't naturally here in America. It comes somewhere else, even though there are people who are here now who are native European now because they've been living here. They wasn't originally from here. So we take the term ummi as the source, the mother, the foundation. Then this would mean that these people who are ummi are indigenous or native to that locale. So the native prophet, the indigenous prophet, the prophet who his ethnicity, his origins started from here. And it wasn't like it started somewhere else, like the children of Israel from Egypt, and then they moved here, they moved there, they settled here, they settled there, and stuff like that, And so, my analysis, my conclusion, the Prophet Muhammad was not an Arab. He was whatever ethnicity he was. He spoke Arabic, but he was a native, an indigenous of the people who's always been there. Just the same way the Native Americans have always been here. They didn't migrate over to some barren strait. They just always been here. So with that, I end this. Peace.